Hello and welcome to No Particular Order, Mana Biscuit's weekly top 5 list show where we list our top 5 whatevers in no particular order. This week, top 5 things we're thankful for. It's Thanksgiving after all. All right, we're going to do something a little bit different this week. Instead of getting right into our lists, we're going to start off with our honorable mentions. Because it's Thanksgiving and we're doing stuff we're thankful for, our honorable mentions are going to be the boring shit. We're healthy. We have friends and family. We have roofs over our head. We have jobs. A lot of
our bellies,
food in our bellies. And yeah, of course, we're thankful for that. But you didn't tune in to see a top 5 list of, I'm glad I didn't starve today. And it's terrible that people are starving.
Yes, it is.
But I'm not one of them.
But this is also you don't have to tune in for those answers because that's what you're going to hear on Thursday when somebody's grandma or whatever. So, everybody has to say what they're thankful for before we can eat.
Before you have that god-awful cranberry sauce. I mean, that cranberry sauce is just bullshit. I'm going to say that right now.
You want to... Nah,
I'm sorry. That's a man.
No, I don't like it. I don't like it, but I was going to... segue into something that's really off topic, and I won't.
So. All right, yeah, that's not this show. We've already done enough of that today. So we're going to get right into our lists, and you know what? We'll start with me this week. I think.
Okay.
All right, because Jay, I know your list. I'm saving you for last. So.
Okay.
All right. Top of my list. I am thankful for Stephen Moffat. That's controversial for 2 reasons. Some people don't really care for Doctor Who. That's fine. Other people who care for Doctor Who don't really care for Moffat. I am not one of those people. I think that what Doctor Who has been under Moffat in terms of mythology development, the way the Doctor has become not just a character, but sort of this manifestation of this idea, the idea of the Doctor, the idea of the Protector, the idea of the noble force of good, given humanity but never truly human. Moffat's explored that in ways that hasn't been done in the 4 years of New Who before he took over, and it's really one of the best reasons to love the show for me, and I'm thankful for that. Next up is the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I mean, who's not thankful for that? Ever since 2008, you've had this explosion of all of our pent-up 90s nerd urges for comic books just sort of manifest on the big screen and on the small screen, and we have Daredevil, and we have the Avengers movies, and we have freaking Ant-Man was great. And so, yeah, how can you not be thankful for the MCU? Next up is a game that has a significant personal importance to me, but it's also a fantastic game in its own right. That is Persona 4 Golden. I've talked about it on Mana Biscuit before, the Persona series, and why I love the Persona series. And it's definitely on my list. If you really want to hear more about it, I think it's the one where TJ and I are on the couch. Next up is Critical Role. It is a Twitchcast / YouTube show where a bunch of voice actors play D&D, and it is really phenomenal. If you love D&D, if you love watching talented actors play D&D, it is about as good as it gets. They did a couple of people from Critical Role did a little sideshow, so to speak, like a one-off promotional thing with Vin Diesel. That was pretty good. It was kind of cool to see after all these years of Vin Diesel being hyped as this D&D player, actually see him sit down and roll some dice. It was kind of fun. But Critical Role proper, I could go on for hours, but I will just say this. Matthew Mercer is easily as good a DM as Chris Perkins, if not better in some ways. And I have learned so much for my DMing just watching how Matthew Mercer does things. And the thing is, he's also open about it. He's really involved in the community and explaining his ideas and why he does things. It's just a fantastic resource for D&D or if you love that type of entertainment. And lastly, something that has given me the ability to play tabletop games again for the first time in years, because until recently I was nowhere near some of the friends I used to play tabletop games with, and that is Roll20.net, and it is a fantastic service. It's It's completely free if you want to be. If you want a few extra features, it's like $5 a month. I pay it gladly, just to support them, if nothing else, because it's a great way not just to play games with friends that you are no longer geographically near, but I've also met a lot of really cool new people in gaming through that service, and made some new friends as well, and it's great. And that is my top 5. So TJ, as you may have surmised, you will be up next.
All right. My first thing on my list is I'm thankful for rekindled friendships, and in particular this show and you guys. I'm thankful for the fact that No Shave November is almost over, because I desperately want to get rid of some of this, but I can't because it's November. I'm also thankful for the fact that this entire stupid year is almost over. But that's a personal thing. And for my last two, they're kind of tied together. I'm thankful for nihilism and for rye whiskey.
TJ's life is a black abyss. I can see how they're
tied together.
Yeah. He's a nihilist, Donnie. They're harmless.
Gentlemen, nobody knows what's in this cup.
I think everybody does now. All right, Jay, save this show.
Wow, no pressure or anything. All right. Ultimately, mine are much more broad than the rest of you guys. Mine, I'm thankful for the acceptance of geek culture. Just the fact that it has become something much more mainstream than it ever was for kids when we grew up. For kids when we grew up, we were the outcasts and things like that. That ultimately now it's a much more accepted thing. In addition to that, and what goes along with that is the understanding of a better understanding of the extrovert versus the introvert. Ultimately, people like Welsh and how to make friends and influence people, things like that, through the course of the 80s and 90s, dominated the role and gave rise to the extrovert being the be-all, end-all. Now with things like Quiet and a couple of other great books, they are giving demonstration to the need for introvert and what an introvert can actually bring to the table. Next up on the list is a much happier one. The evolution of gaming. I've been blessed to have been, born in '79 and thus got the '80s and the '90s, and went from, the Game Boy and the Game Gear that was half the size of my backpack to, my mobile gaming device.
Your mobile Hearthstone player.
Yeah, and that's about all I use it for. And just to have seen that evolution, to see the evolution of, and not just that, but the evolution of gaming becoming an acceptable practice from your mom renting you a video game for the weekend, and then, you're playing that too much, go outside, to actual legitimate major league gaming. This, and don't get me wrong, a lot of people were very unhappy with seeing, what was it? Was it Heroes of the Storm that was on ESPN?
ESPN2, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, a lot of people were very unhappy, and some people had some.
A lot of get off my lawns were yeah.
But it's here, and it's here to stay. I mean, and it's one of those. Even now they're looking into the whole anti-doping thing and everything else. Yeah. It's legitimate. So
because that's what it takes in order to be a legitimate sport. You need to be cheating.
Well, you need to have enough incentive to cheat. There needs to be enough money on the line. But yeah, all right, roll along. We're running along. Sorry, Jay.
Next up is just the fact that I was never told that you're too old for this. Ultimately, I have action figures and little geek toys that I pick up and play with throughout the through the entirety of my house. When RJ came over for the first, second or third time, and I actually had things set up downstairs, he was looking at the little toys and things that I had sitting on my is sitting on my entertainment center, and this is stuff that I still pick up and I play with. And I've got Loot Crate had an awesome shredder sunglass thing that I wish I could reach and grab right now.
Jay,
but you're never too old for this.
You're too old for this.
I am not too old for this.
It's time. You're finally too old. Well, you mentioned that you were born in '79, and now I'm thinking like, man, that's pathetic. You're a little too old for this.
I am never too old for this. Okay? I am sure.
All right. Keep that on and give us number 5.
Lastly, I am incredibly grateful for this show. Particularly the people that the 20 some odd people that actually subscribe and listen to the show on a daily, or not daily basis, but a weekly basis. You guys
TJ
are,
listens to it on a daily basis.
TJ listens to it on a daily basis. He likes the sound of his own voice.
That's not too far
off. Which part? You listen to it daily, or you like the sound of your own voice?
Both.
Yes. But you guys, thank you. But hopefully through the course, and we've done this for almost a year now.
Yeah.
And
it's getting there.
Yeah, it's getting there. I mean, we're what, 33, 34, and we missed 2 weeks, one because of Gen Con and one because of moving.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're looking at almost 40 weeks, coming up on a full year of this.
There's 52 weeks in a year, buddy.
Yeah, and we're about to do episode 33. So, but it's getting there, and the sentiment is well taken. And we're gonna forgo the top 5 of the top 5 because of the immensely personal nature of these lists. And
Can I tack on another honorable mention right now?
Go for it.
Just the fact that Jay's bald dome meshes so well with the better thing. Like, that's just glorious.
It is.
Thank you, Luke. Great.
It is. I mean, that does look pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. All right. So our top 5 of the top 5 this week is going to be you guys, just because it makes no sense whatsoever. But there it is, you beautiful bastards. We love you, and we will be back next week with more, no particular order. Bye-bye.
Bye.